So everybody who's just joined in, so if you are 7 to 12 years old, if you can join room 1, can you see room 1 option as a breakout room on your screen? You need to let me know if you can't. Bhenji, I'm gonna have to see how I'm gonna make you join the rooms. So I can see some people have joined the room, so where are you? Suki. I'm gonna assign you. Yes, I can do that. I've sent you into the room, I think.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. How are you?
Good.
Right. Can you see room options on your screen?
No.
Okay. Let me. What's your? Is it a bar? Let me just. I'm gonna put you into your room now. Okay.
Okay.
See if that works. Okay, I've got Sangeet Kaur. How come you have a Go see if you can do it now. Okay. Are you under Gurdwara? Can you see the rooms options on your screen? It should be on your screen. One sec. Let me just see if I can send again. Okay, I'll have to manually add people now. Ek minute ruko. Right there. Okay, Singh, can you give Manvir Singh a call, please? I just need to let people join the rooms. Oh. He's just given me a missed call.
So Bhenji, am I in the wrong room now? Because I went to that room
Indeed.
and then it said it's going to close and he said come back to the main thing. So that's why I'm here again.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know why it said it's going to automatically get me back to the main screen, which obviously I'm back now. So I'm guessing that
right. Okay, we'll probably have to do it again with everybody, I think.
Try it again, yeah.
We just trying to.
I will need yes, please. And also Vijay Singh as well, because he's got screen to share as well.
Right, we are gonna do this again. So we'll try again.
Bhenji, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਨਾ ਮਨਵੀਰ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਿਓ ਮਾੜਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਸੀ
ਅੱਛਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ okay so ਠੀਕ ਹੈ all right I'm just saying if I'll probably will have to see okay okay, you should be able to share your screen. So keep Bhenji, Manvir Singh and Vijay Singh. I've just given you permission.
I'm in the wrong room, Bhenji, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna open all rooms again. Let's do it again. So everybody who is 7 years and over until 12 years old, so 7 to 12 years old, go to room 1, and everybody else should be in room 2.
And you will send that link now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you see it? Yes. Okay. Just, do you want to go in the right? Bhagat Singh, I'm gonna put you with Manvir Singh. Right.
शुरू शुरू कर दिए फिर थोड़ा टाइम है ready steady everybody करना कुछ पाउंड लगा अच्छा ओके जी चलो 5 मूल मंत्र का पाठ करके शुरू कर दे जी सारे जितने घर बैठे आ सारे प्लीज स्पीक अलोंग वाहिगुरु जी एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सैभंग गुर प्रसाद एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सैभंग गुर प्रसाद एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त जुनी सैभंग गुर प्रसाद एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त जुनी सैभंग गुर प्रसाद लास्ट टाइम एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त जुनी सैभंग गुर प्रसाद वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. So today's topic is Guru Nanak and me. I was was hoping that people still, but a lot of shy people are not putting their videos on so I can such as see who's on. मैं चलो बार-बार कहंदा भी चंगा नहीं लगदा अपने आप जे कर सकते कर लो चंगी गल है. If you're probably not dressed appropriately or you know something there's other reasons or something but you probably wear your night suit चलो बकरी गल है माल कृपा कर चलो जी. Okay, so Guru Nanak and me, so अच्छा भाई राजपाल सिंह भी आ गए. Are you stalking me? Sorry. Sorry, Bhai Sahib ji, I guess you're on Zoom. Ji, that was a joke, by the way. Sorry, I'll go back to the topic while I'm serious. Hanji, so our topic is Guru Nanak and me. So I thought quickly, I don't know if anybody know what job I do. Is it about that? You can either write in the chat box chat box vich likh lo, or if anybody's not yet, oh well, so either the chat box, if anybody knows what job do I do. Let's see if anybody knows. Anybody know? You can unmute yourself if you're a slow typer for any of the no. Good guess. Manpreet Kaur ji, Virji, I think you work in prison, I think. Hanji, I work in the prison. So, you know what I do in the prison?
Can you see us?
I don't know.
I'm not a Bible stuff now. You can unmute yourself if you're slow typer.
Can you see us?
Mute.
Actually, anyone know what job I do within the prison? I'll give you a clue. I'm not a prisoner. Anyone know? So today is, I don't think it'd be that hard to kind of guess. Guess kar bhi rahe jo chalo Sukhbinder Sindhu or in there.
Are you a prison guard?
I'm not a prison guard. No, I'm not. Lisa, you made an effort to guess, so well done for the effort. 10 out of 10 for effort. You actually stretch over to and to unmute yourself, so well done. Anybody else? Right, so I am a chaplain. So chaplain is you're giving support to prisoners and staff, and that's
Prison chaplain.
Sorry? Anybody else?
Just unmute and do it. Unmute.
Bhai Guru.
Are you a prison chaplain?
Hanji. I am a chaplain. Baki pata nahi kiran di awaaz hai, they need to mute themselves. Mute kar do to you have this. Ho gaya mute. Chalo shukriya. So prison chaplain is what they say, giving support to prisoners and staff, and also from spiritual support to pastoral support. Sorry, that was my dad. Last of the Vaheguru. Sorry, bolo Vaheguru. So I'm working in the prisons, which is with prisoners. And before that, anyone know what job I used to do? Anyone know? No? School teacher on this. So before that, school teacher. See. So one reason for you can say becoming from a school teacher to becoming a prison chaplain was Guru Nanak Dev Ji inspired me. Guru Nanak Dev Ji came across a lot of criminals. Anyone have any examples of any criminals that Guru Nanak Dev Ji came across? On the test your knowledge. Hanji. Type away if anybody can name any criminals that Guru Nanak Dev Ji came across. Criminals or any prisoners. Criminals or prisoners. अच्छा नाले भी लिख दो उन्होंने क्रिमिनल बिहेवियर की किया सी निमृत कौर भैंजी कहते हैं कौडा राकेश cannibal, yeah, he's eat human beings. So Babbar, oh I mean I think it mean Babur, Hanji Babur. अच्छा Babur अच्छा उन्हें की क्रिमिनल किया सी अच्छा सज्जन ने की किया सी जसविंदर संधू account. Can you like tell me like, what criminal behavior they did as well? Is somebody come and please go on to speak? People can audio talk to you if they want to. Hanji, if anybody is easier, you can audio them. Call it might be that Sunday afternoon after having paratha, you might be visit. People can. Achha, he was a thief, as well as a murderer. Achha, anybody else? बंदे मारदा भी इंदा सी मर्डर भी कर दिंदा सी सज्जन जरा सी एनीबॉडी एल्स कोडारा वो तो हो गया कमलप्रीत कौर जी कोडारा किस ने चलता किसी ने लिख दिता ਖਾਣਾ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਸੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਨਿਮਰਤ ਭੈਣਜੀ ਸੀ okay so you got two examples there ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj also went to prison jail ਗਏ ਸੀ anyone know who put Guru Nanak Dev Ji to jail ਭਾਈ ਰਾਜਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਲਿਖ ਰਹੇ ਜਾਂ ਉਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਐਡਜਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ anyone know who put Guru Nanak Dev Ji in prison ਥੋੜਾ ਤੇਜ਼ ਛੇਤੀ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇ ਦਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਵੇਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਖ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਮਹਿੰਦਰ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ ਕੁਛ ਟਾਈਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁਣ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕਿ ਪੰਗਾ ਆ ਕਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਆ ਬੈਠਾ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਆ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ I was doing a Zoom session in America and ਡੈਡੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਬੈਠੀ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੁੜੀ ਮੈਂ ਡੈਡੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ so sometimes it's a good idea to ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾਂ ਹੀ ਰੱਖੋ ਤਾਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਾਬਰ ਸੀ ਬਾਬਰ ਕੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹਰਮਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੁਣ ਲਿਖ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਚਲੋ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ so ਬਾਬਰ ਸੀ ਬਾਬਰ ਕੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ to prison Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, when he was freed from prison, he refused to leave unless all of the prisoners were freed. And anyone know how many prisoners were freed? Isn't it pata? Kitne prisoner Guru Nanak Dev Ji ne free kitte? Manvir ko Bhenji kuch likhan lag gaye si nahi कोई response नहीं आ रहा किसी का they say that roughly in the 1,000 prisoners were freed by Guru Nanak Dev Ji Guru Nanak Dev Ji refused to leave prison unless the other prisoners bandi shor Guru Nanak Dev Ji bhi so he freed people from prison chalo so that's a bit about prisoners how Guru Nanak Dev Ji if it was today so imagine Korda used to kill people and eat them khanda hunda si Sajjan used to murder people, then steal from them. He used to murder them and steal from them. So there are two examples. I'll famous chor, Guru Nanak Dev Ji. I'll give you a clue. Pabba. For those whose Punjabi is not very good. Pabba, BH. Pata laga?
Pumiya chor.
Hanji shabash, Pumiya chor. ਭੂਮੀਆ ਚੋਰ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਚੋਰੀਆਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ was a thief Guru Nanak Dev Ji met him as well so when Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj met them he changed them ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ if it was today's modern day do you reckon people would accept that they've changed what would happen in modern day imagine so Bhumia was a chor he becomes a Sikh he becomes a Gursikh. Korda used to kill people, eat them, and he changes and becomes a saint, or Santa Banadaya. Sajjan used to kill people and steal from them. He changes and becomes a sant, a Gursikh. So in a modern day, what do you think, how would normal people respond to that, you think? Thinking of the society we live in today, what things might you expect? Do you think people would accept that? Bradford Khalsa Foundation. Anybody can unmute yourself and speak Kanji.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਤਾਂ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨੇ ਪਾਪ ਕਮਾ ਲਿਆ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਕਵਰ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਹਨਾ 900
Firstly, I'm sure Facebook fake Korda fake do you not know what he did WhatsApp messages we don't like giving people chances. No, Bhenji, do you know Barney Korda? Do you know Korda? Yeah, he's a son, he's a Gursikh. No. Well, let me get a picture. Send, share. Whether he's changed, we don't care. So this is that as a modern. So one thing about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, which really inspired me, is Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave people chances. Why did Guru Nanak Dev Ji give people chances? He sees a murderer in front of him. He sees he sees somebody who has eaten people. He has seen a thief in front of him. He's seen people of criminal behavior done really nasty things, but why does Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, why does he give them time? Why does Guru Nanak Dev Ji give these people time? Why is not Guru Nanak Dev Ji with the spiritual and religious people? Srina Kaur ji? Any answer? Why do Guru Nanak Dev Ji give time for these people? No? Anybody else? Oh my God. That's not my garden, by the way. Satanam. Acha, somebody's responded back, thank God. Oh, Serena Kaur did. Oh, sorry, I was waiting for you to unmute yourself. Acha. Sanji. So Serena Kaur says, because he knew Vaheguru was within them. Bani Kaur, because Vaheguru Ji is in everyone, they need help to get to Vaheguru Ji. Nice. Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, in 16 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ, ਸਭ ਮੈਂ ਜੋਤ, ਜੋਤ ਹੈ ਸੋਏ, ਤਿਸ ਦੇ ਚਾਨਣ, ਸਭ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਨਣ ਹੋਏ. There is a light within everybody, and that light shines, the Vaheguru's light shines with everybody. I work with people who are murderers. I work with people who have done really nasty things. Even I work with pedophiles, rapists, people are thieves. I also work with people who have murdered their mum and dad. So when you're working with these people, my job is to talk to them and see how they are, and like make them feel better and help them to cope in prison and to give them spiritual support. It's quite difficult. I remember once some prisoners stopped me. And they were actually sniggering or laughing. They say that and they were looking at me, and you know, like little kids. This is in prison the Vijay. When someone does that, rather than walk the other way, I like to go and approach them. So I went up to them. I said, "Hello, how are you? You okay? How's your family?" So I took interest in their family. I said, "How is your family?" They're fine, sir. Oh, that's nice. How's your children? Have you been in contact with them? Have you able to speak to them on the phone? Have they visited you? Oh, thank you very much. Oh, yeah. So a nice conversation. I'm taking interest in them. Holy, they changed from what they were like, their kind of immaturity towards me. Then it changed. Oh, thought serious and respectful. From disrespect to respectful. They said, oh, then I made a bit of a joke. Oh, you were looking at my trousers and I could see you smiling. Oh, my pajami pai hundi na, churidar pajami, kutni pajami. And I said, you know that skinny jeans come from the Sikhs. The skinny jeans, they copied the Sikhs. That's why they say then these people copied skinny jeans. Pajami tight hundi na. Oh, really, Mr. Singh? You can imagine they were like, quite, really? And I was thinking, and I started laughing. I started laughing, became a bit relaxed. So, what's your job? I'm a chaplain. I come here not just to see people of my own religion, but anybody. Even if you don't have religion, I'm here to help you cope, to talk to you, to give you support, to give you hope, to give you motivation, and to provide a service to you. So we do religious education, for example. Oh, there were two freedom, and they said, "Mr. Singh, I can't do your job." And I said, "Why is that?" And I said, "I'm not asking you to do my job, because you go and talk to those nonces." Nonce, anyone heard of nonce before? Nonce no? Anyone know? Sunya kadi nonce? Kinu kande? Actually is non-ordinary criminal something. Get down the nonce. Non-ordinary criminal. Basically, it's a non-ordinary criminal offense. The offense in anyway, so basically, nonce nickname ditta janda jere sex offender hunde are those people who have done a crime against children or against women. Obviously, I'm working in a male prison. Oh, no, nonce. Oh, I couldn't work with those nonces. And it's a bit of a derogatory term that the prisoners use. I wouldn't work with you go and talk to them. मैं फिर उन्होंने कहा, so what was the answer? What answer should I give to that? They're asking me that if you go and speak to those disgusting people, they do disgusting things with children. They're disgusting, you know, and you go and talk to them. I couldn't do your job. So what do you think my job should be? Because of what anyone? Ki jawab ye main lagda. Anyone? Jawab ki? Manvir Singh होनी मेरे ख्याल तुसी तो कोई कलरिंग प्रोग्राम कर रहे हो कुछ अच्छा नहीं because वाहिगुरु जी अच्छे तो पुराना मैं तो वाहिगुरु पुराना ही पढ़ी जाता चलो so मैं उन्होंने कहा so I keep going back to this old message I think oh is this oh there's a new message but actually it's an old message so मैं उन्होंने कहा देखो that when you go to a doctor doesn't go and look at your mistakes doctor थोड़ी गलती नहीं दे excuse me you expected me to help you with your problem, but isn't it you were rude to your mum? Hold on, wasn't it you actually at school misbehaved? Sorry, I don't want to help you. Are you the one who actually stole something from a shop? Sorry, I don't want to help you. One the job nahi puchna. One the job where you are there as a human being there to treat you. The same like as a religious person, I'm here to heal people, to help people, irrespective of their baggage of what they've done. Just like somebody comes to the Gurdwara, Langar Khan on that, you don't give them an interview. Excuse me, so actually, do you believe in Vaheguru? Do you do your part? You know, have you done anything bad in your life? You just give them a number. That's got nothing to do with you. You just there to give them langar. So my inspiration was Guru Nanak Dev Ji. For me, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, what I learned is that Guru Nanak tells me there's a light with everybody, but we can't see that light. I meet some people with very dark lives. Either done, like I said, recently there's somebody I've met who's murdered their mum and dad. Or put mum and dad in goli maar deti. He's in prison, Punjabi. Hona banda soche, you're going to planning to go and see him and say, hello, how are you? How can I help you? Really? But mera Guru Nanak Dev Ji, what I learned from Guru Nanak Dev Ji's life is that there's a light within everybody, but there's sometimes a cloud. And in that cloud of darkness, we can't see the light. However, if we believe in Guru Nanak Dev Ji, then we have to believe behind that cloud, there is still light. So what is that cloud? Anyone know what that cloud is? Hanji, Gaganamra, Hanji, the
Waheguru?
Oh, okay. So I'm talking about it's more of a dark thing. So it's calm, krodh, low, monkar, lust, anger, greed, attachment, ego. It's our cloud there. And beyond that, though, there is a light. But that requires faith. You have to believe in people. And that's what I learned from Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. I'm going to stop there. Make a story. If you got something to ask or share, otherwise, I'm going to story share karke time ho gaya. Anybody want to share, ask a question at this point, at moment? Question put him on visa to correct it. Okay. Anybody else wants to ask a question? Okay. Chalo main fir story dassta hu fir koi. Acha, okay then. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj is this is a very inspiring story which is written in a book called Guru Nanak Chamatkar. Probably you might not have come across this story, I'll be honest with you, because this story very recently I read it. Very inspiring. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj and Bhai Mardana Ji are walking through a jungle. As they're walking through the jungle, this is in modern day Bangladesh. Yeah, so obviously then it was not Bangladesh. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Bhai Mardana Ji walking in what is modern day Bangladesh, near the capital city, which is Dhaka. So as they're walking through this jungle, you can imagine jungles are quite intimidating places, scary places. As they walk by, Mardana just saying, you know what, Maharaj, can we get out of the jungle? It'd be nice to get into a place which is not a jungle, somewhere which is we can, rest, somewhere we don't have to be always on guard, because you're being guard from, any dangerous animals and so on. So as they come out of the jungle, they come to like a valley. You can see in the valley, there's a small village. So when they look down, they can see some houses there. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, oh, we'll go to that village. And we'll rest there. Bhai Mardana Ji says, things brilliant. Sanu rest of that time, get time to have some nice meal and a nice time, bit of rest by, thoda jaisi aaram kar sakde hai. Brilliant. So Bhai Mardana Ji and Guru Nanak Dev Ji go to this village, and oh village da naam si Chorada. Pata laga? Chorada. It was a village of thieves, a village of criminals. Sara ਪਿੰਡ ਚੋਰਾ ਦਾ ਸੀ, ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਪਿੰਡ ਸੀ, ਤੇ ਚੋਰਾ ਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ. It was a village of thieves, of criminals. As Bhai Mardana Ji, Guru Nanak Ji came, one of the persons saw them. Oh wow, they look well to do. They look like Guru Nanak Ji dressed really well, clean clothes. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਿੰਨੀ light ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਤੇ. He must be really rich. ਇਹ ਅਮੀਰ ਹੋਣਗੇ. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Bhai Mardana Ji approached by this man. He said, please come to our house and stay in our village. Obviously his intentions was not as nice as you'd expect. Jado Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj nu ghar sadya, they were brought into their house, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Bhai Mardana Ji was offered a meal. So tusi sade kuch shako. Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, sanu bhukh nahi lagi, we're not hungry. Ta swere dekhde a. We just want to rest. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj and Bhai Mardana Ji went to the room, but they didn't actually go to sleep. Jehda banda si oh wait karda si that when does Bhai Mardana Ji and Guru Nanak Dev Ji go to sleep? Anyone know why? Pata laga? Wait karde si ko so jaan. You can unmute yourself if you want to speak. Ja likh sakde je tujhe shai hai. Pata laga? ਕੁਝ ਤਾਂ ਬੋਲ ਲਓ, ਜਦ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਹੀ ਸੁਣੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸ੍ਰੀਨਾ ਕੋਰ ਤੂੰ ਹੀ ਦੱਸ ਦੇ, ਤੂੰ ਬੀਬੀ ਜੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ. ਹਾਂਜੀ.
So you could rob them.
ਹਾਂਜੀ. So when they go to sleep, you can then rob them. So ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ, he wanted to give them some food, because in the food he's going to put poison, and what they were planning to do is kill Bhai Mardana Ji and kill Guru Nanak Dev Ji and steal from them, but they refused to eat the food. So he thought, I'll wait for them to go to sleep and then then I'll rob them. The rest of the villagers, it's only a small village, they spoke to the man where Maharaj was staying and said, what's the deal? And he goes, these guys, they're not going to sleep. We can only do this. And the deal was that once they rob them, then they'll kill them and then they'll share whatever they have amongst the whole village of criminals. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't go to sleep. Instead, the man falls asleep. Jina da ghar a ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੌਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਨੀਂਦ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. He falls asleep. Not only does that man fall asleep, but the whole village falls asleep like it's come under a spell. The next morning, the man wakes up and thinks, where's that holy man? Where's that Guru? And when he goes to find the Baba, meaning Guru Nanak, he goes, where's that Baba? Where's Baba? He sees that Guru Nanak Dev Ji is not there and Bhai Mardana Ji is not there. Anyone know what's happened? Anji, Jaswinder Sandhu. हो गया. हांजी हांजी क्या है कुछ मेरे तो कुछ did anybody hear that? दोबारा बोले पुत.
Did they leave?
हांजी, they left the house. When they left the house, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj tells Bhai Mardana Ji, ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਚੱਲੀਏ. ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਾਈ ਮਰਦਾਨਾ ਜੀ ਕਿਸ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੁੱਤਾ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ. ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਸੁਲਾਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ has made them go to sleep. ਅੱਜ ਚੱਲੀਏ. ਜੇ ਉਹ ਜਾਗਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਾਈ ਕਹਿ ਲੈਂਦੇ let's go. As they started walking, imagine you're coming down this hill. Imagine Bhai Mardana ji, Guru Nanak ji come down the hill. Imagine right in the far, you can see the hill. The people wake up. And they think the villagers come to that guy's house and go, where's that holy man? And where's his friend? And he goes, they've left the house. What do you mean they've left that? I bet you've killed them and you're making up this story just so that you can keep all their money for yourself. Where are they? No, trust me, they've left the house. Fir ki hunda hai? Or eventually they decide to believe the man. Okay, if they left the house, when did they leave? They must have, I was asleep. And the other villagers said, well, having said that, actually we fell asleep as well. So they said, let's quickly go and find him. So imagine on the hill, all the villagers with weapons. Sare aage. So Guru Nanak ji, Bhai Mardana ji thalle at the bottom of the hill. And then, oh, grab him. You think you can run away from us? You don't know who we are. Asi chora da pende, no one gets away, no one can make a mug out of us. And they're basically rushing towards Guru Nanak ji, Bhai Mardana ji. Bhai Mardana ji, oh my days. Baba, chaliye, let's quickly go. Guru Nanak ji kande Mardana thi khadda. Let's. When Guru Nanak Dev ji told Bhai Mardana ji to stand still, ਉਹਦੇ ਚ book ਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ Bhai Mardana ji goes, Baba's gonna get me killed. These guys, villagers, are like hooligans. They're like criminal thugs. They want to kill us. They're running down this hill. We're just standing still. Baba's gonna get me killed. But then he goes, he heard a voice in his head. Kanda Mardania, tu neana, Baba siana. In note karan wali gallan aya, ganda Guru Nanak, Baba, you are siana, I am neana, I am a kid, I'm immature. But Baba is wise. If Baba says stand still, there must be a reason, so I'll stand still. Jo Baba kanda palai karda. Jo Baba karda palai karda. Whatever Baba ji does, Guru Nanak Dev ji is always good, for the good. So what happens is they stand still, and as the people are getting closer, Guru Nanak Dev is standing there. Bhai Mardana ji has another thing, oh my God, Sachi, Baba ne marwai dana sano Guru Nanak, Baba chal jiye. And khade rahe, stand still. Fir ki hunda hai, when the people come, they said, you don't know who we are. Achi chor ya. You think you could escape from our house? Ki hunda next? Oh samay, kande asi tonu maar dana ya, we're gonna kill you and we're gonna rob you. Guru Nanak ji pata ki kende? Anyone know what happened at this point? Anyone to guess? What's gonna happen? Hanji, Gagan Singh, Amar Singh, kehna kuch?
They just said.
Okay, I think thinking moment. Chalo theek hai, koi gal nahi. Okay, I think it was a thinking moment for that thing. Hanji, koi gal nahi. Anybody else? ज़्यादा तो सुनना ही चाहते हैं मतलब कोई गल नहीं लेजी संडे चलो मैं ही बोली जाऊंगा हाँ जी what happened next is Guru Nanak Dev ji
No one wants to guess.
अच्छा दसो जी
Maybe Guru Nanak Dev Ji started meditating and then something happened, like something strange happened.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Feel free to speak if you're okay. Hanji. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, "Idda karo, tusi sanu marna nahi, maar deo. Idda karo nahi, jadon nahi tusi sanu marna ya, tusi saadi body nu burn kar leo, burn our body, so that no one knows that you've killed us." Bhai kande Bhai Mardana ji kande, "Hey Baba, sachi tu sanu marwaun laga. You're really gonna get us killed." मैं तो उधर ही सोचता सी Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, "Yeah, please, can you burn our bodies? Can you burn us alive? Burn us." On chakkar pੈ gaya. Can you imagine all these people are surrounded Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Bhai Mardana, and Guru Nanak goes, "Yeah, tusi sanu nahi marna, maar deo, no problem. Idda karo that I'm helping you because if our dead bodies are lying there, someone's going to see there's a dead body, and then they're going to want to find who's killed us, and then they're going to trace us back to your village, and you'll get in trouble. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਸ ਜਾਓਗੇ, so just get rid of the evidence. ਉਹ ਸੋਚਣ ਪਏ ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਕਹੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ he's trying to be helpful, like he's helping us how to kill him. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ? ਕਹਿੰਦਾ I'm just helping you. Imagine here, you're standing here, what's the problem? Imagine ਇੱਥੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ in this scene. So ਇੱਥੇ ਗੱਲ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਆ, and they're saying, Guru Nanak says, you know, you can burn us, make sure you burn. So what's the problem? ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ? ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਅੱਗ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਲੈਣੀ ਆ? ਅੱਗ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਲੈਣੀ ਆ? Where we get the firewood from? ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੱਧਰ ਦੇਖੋ, ਏਦਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ, look there. Guru Nanak ji pointed to this, the sideways point ਕੀਤਾ, ਉੱਥੇ wood ਸੀ, woodlands, ਜੰਗਲ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ. woodlands ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਦਰਖਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ from the woods ਧੂਆਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ, there was a smoke. ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ where you see the smoke, ਉੱਥੇ ਅੱਗ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ, there's a fire, go and grab firewood from there. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ that this is too good to be true. Why are you telling us? This must be a plan. I bet you ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ clever ਬੰਦਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ. He's going to try to run away. ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ firewood ਲੈਣ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨੱਠ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ. ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ? there are many of you. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਓ ਉੱਧਰ ਤੇ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਖੜ ਜਾਓ, half ਹੋ ਜਾਓ. ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣ ਲੱਗੇ. We'll stand here. And they thought, okay, there's nothing to lose then. There's no. So half the men, imagine 4 or 5 men stood with Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and Guru Nanak ke bali gal sanu hath ban lo, you can tie us up. ਤਾਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਚੱਲ ਗਏ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅੱਗ ਗਿਆ. ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਆ how Guru Nanak changes people. When they go to the woodland, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਧੂਆਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਉੱਥੇ follow ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਧੂਆਂ. When they go there, ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਧੂਆਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੂੰ woodland ਵਿੱਚ? ਰਵਜੀਤ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ? ਹਾਂਜੀ ਰਵਜੀਤ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ।
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੁਝ ਬਣ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ।
ਕੁਝ ਬਣ ਰਿਹਾ? ਅੱਛਾ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ?
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੈ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਅੱਛਾ, ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਕੁਝ ਲੰਗਰ ਛੋਲੇ ਭਟੂਰੇ ਬਣ ਰਹੇ ਉੱਥੇ।
ਮੇਰੀ એનર્ਜੀ, ਮਾਈ એનર્ਜੀ।
ਓਕੇ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਅੱਛਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਅੱਗ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਆ, ਬੰਦੇ ਗੋ there, ਆਪਣਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਥੋੜਾ ਕੇ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ, ਆਪਣੇ ਮੇਰੇ 5 ਮਿੰਟ ਹੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਆਪਣੀ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ ਦ ਸਟੋਰੀ, ਸੌਰੀ। ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ when they go there, actually there's somebody whose funeral is happening. ਉਸ ਦਾ ਸੰਸਕਾਰ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। ਸੰਸਕਾਰ means somebody's dead body is being burnt, yeah, like a cremation. When the people go there, ਉਹ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ ਉੱਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਡੈਡ ਬੋਡੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ cremation ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ। ਬੋਡੀ ਪਈ ਆ, but there's somebody standing next to the body. ਤਾਂ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾਲ ਖੜਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਨੰਗਾ ਆ, he's wearing no clothes, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਇੱਕ ਨੰਗਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਆ, somebody is bare naked, he is standing like this next to the body, ਏਦਾਂ। ਉਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ what's this? ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, there's somebody's body being burned like of a funeral, and there's ਇੱਕ ਨੰਗਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੈ looking very miserable, ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਏਦਾਂ ਖੜਾ ਆ। When they do this, ਉਹ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ, we're not, you know, what's happening? And they see this, that they see some guards, ਏਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਨਾ troops, soldiers or some guards, ਉਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੁੱਟ ਰਹੇ ਆ, come here, and ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੁੱਟ ਕੇ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਵਾਲੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ, ਉਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਜਮਦੂਤ ਸਟਾਈਲ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਆ, ਮਾਰ ਕੇ they're beating this man and they're dragging him as a criminal. ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, my God, why are they being so nasty? Inna too bad. Why are they treating this person so? Oh, that's awful. What's happening? ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ, ਬੰਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ must be some real, you know, bad person. Then this is a scary scene. Soon as they ਏਦਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ, so they looked again. When all of them looked again, scene totally changed. Change ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਹੁਣ ਚੇਂਜ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਨੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਪਾਏ, ਸੋਹਣਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਐਂਡ ਸਮਾਰਟ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ, he looking very presentable, and he's now not being dragged, he's now sitting on a chair. You know, like the palki sahab hundi hai, palki, he's on a chair which is being lifted like a king. Onu lift karke nahi, he's got people on all four sides that lift karke nahi, and he's being treated like a king. Oh yaar, are we going mental? Are we going mad? और दूजे ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ, did you just see that? ਇਹ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬੰਦਾ ਨੰਗਾ ਸੀ, ਨਾ ਕੁੱਟ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਸੀ, ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਰਾਜਾ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ, and there he's a king and people are giving respect and he's being carried and, you know, because and everybody said they saw the same thing. So they shouted, hello, excuse me, what's happening? And then ਉੱਚੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ. When they spoke, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ they spoke back. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਾ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ, who are you? What's happened? ਉਹ guard ਬੋਲੇ, ਬੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਿਆ, guard ਬੋਲੇ, you are holding the man. And at first you are beating him and now you're carrying him like a king. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, anyone know what's happened? ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੁਛ? ਬਾਣੀ ਕੌਰ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ, ਆਪ ਦੱਸੋ, ਮਿਊਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੱਸੋ, ਸਰ ਤਾਂ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ,
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ।
I think that's like someone is that sanskar and that was of that person who was like nanga in the beginning, and that's if you're a criminal or to like putikam, then you just go like you'll be dragged away and you get your beatings, and when you do you could come here on this world, that you will be treated like a king, you know how you said like he was like treated like a king. So this was his soul leaving his body. That's how I interpreted it.
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ soul, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ body is very good. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਗਾਰਡਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ that this person, ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਆਹੀ ਆ, whoever's on this cremation fire, ਇਹ ਉਹਦੀ ਆਤਮਾ ਆ, is his soul. ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਸੁਣਿਓ ਸਾਰੇ, ਇਹ ਉਸ ਬੰਦਾ ਆ, the person you see, the dead physical body, the body physical body which is when, ਇਹਦੀ ਆਤਮਾ is his soul. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁੱਟਦੇ ਸੀ, ਚੋਰ ਬੋਲਦੇ, ਚੋਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਬੋਲ ਰਹੇ ਆ, 4 ਜਣੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁੱਟ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, you're beating him first. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ, he is a sinner, ਇਹ ਪਾਪੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਆ, he is a sinner, he's done many bad things, so that's why we beat him. Then he goes, why did you stop beating him then? Why did you say now he's being treated like a king and we don't understand? He said, because the Baba that you have, the Baba that your friends are with at the moment, that Baba is Guru Nanak. Jira Guru Nanak, he is God on earth, the Lord himself on earth. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was walking and this man was walking. To sunyo, kande eh dono bande ni, the person who is your dead body, kande that when he was alive, he was walking and Guru Nanak was walking, and as they were walking past, Guru Nanak stopped and looked at him, looked into his eyes and smiled. Because Guru Nanak looked into his eyes and smiled and looked at him favorably, kade nadar na dekhya, Punjabi means favorably. He looked with him with compassion, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and looked into his eyes, and Guru Nanak smiled at him. For this reason, somebody who receives Guru Nanak's kindness, we cannot take their soul. The Jamduts, the angels of death, can't take them. For this reason, the angel of death had to go, and instead, these are angels which have come down to take the body. And they kaun hai banda? Jira banda who is, he goes, oh here, the person that you have captured, he is that Baba is Guru Nanak. Oh kande, my God, asi to onu hor kuch hi samjh liya. Oh bande fe kande idda karo, the angel spoke, if you wish to some mercy on yourself, you wish to save yourself, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛੇਤੀ ਛਾਤੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਪੈਰੀ ਪੈ ਜਾਓ, fall at his feet. ਉਹ 4 ਬੰਦੇ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਉੱਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, they come back to the scene, they run and they come and ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਦੇ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਚੋਰ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਮਲਿਓ ਕੀ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਨਾ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਚੋਰੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਕੌਣ ਆ ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਆ। whoever he sees he can save sinners। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ what the hell are you on about? ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ saw a dead man, he was going to be taken to hell, instead he's been taken to Sachkhand, he's been taken just because this man, this Baba looked at him and smiled and gave him kindness। ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀ they could decide that this is what you on about, they question ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਸੀ। ਹੁਣ 4 ਬੰਦੇ ਉੱਧਰ ਆ, 4 ਇੱਧਰ ਆ, ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਆ, ਸਾਰੇ ਫਰੈਂਡਸ ਆ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਕਨਵਿੰਸਿੰਗ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਤਾਂ then Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't say anything। ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਚੋਰ ਵੀ ਆ they looked at Guru Nanak and then they ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ ਲਿਆ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਾਫ ਕਰ ਦੂੰਗਾ। ਸੋਚਣ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ ਆ। It's really strange. Imagine today somebody does something wrong in a Gurdwara. Does this, can you see, tally karda? Azir koi sanu da, I'm never going to speak to you again, get lost. And look at what Guru Nanak Dev is doing. These people came to murder him and he goes, you are forgiven. Kande Baba ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਆਊਗਾ, ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੱਦਣਾ, ਤੇਰੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਊਂਗਾ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਾਉਣਾ। Guru Nanak said, I can't eat from you। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ why can't you eat from us? ਲੱਗਾ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਛਕਾਉਣਾ ਆ? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦਾਲ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਛਕਾ ਬਣਾਓ ਕਿ ਬਣਾ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ where did you get the money to make this dal sabji? You murdered people and did crime। ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਨਹੀਂ, I can't eat that। They said, tell us what we can do। Kanda, all the people, all that you have done bad, now you have to do good। All this money you must share with the poor। And from now on, then Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਣਾ ਆ, ਕਿਰਤ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਵੰਡ ਕੇ ਛਕਣਾ ਆ। You must now meditate, you must now do simran, you must now live honestly and not cheat or steal, and you must now share what you have and do seva। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਉਸ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹੇ, ਅਨੂ ਚੋਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਿੰਡ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਿੰਡ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ। ਹੁਣ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਇੰਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲਿਆ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਗਿਵਸ ਚਾਂਸਸ, ਐਂਡ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ। ਸੋ ਦੈਟਸ ਮਾਈ ਇੰਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਫॉर ਮੀ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ ਇਨ ਪ੍ਰਿਜ਼ਨ। ਫਿਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਵੱਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੀ ਬਲੈਸਡ ਪੀਪਲ। ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ, there's a boat and an ocean, what's bigger, the ocean or the boat? ਹਾਂਜੀ
The boat।
ਬੋਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਤ, ਬੋਟ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ। just a reality check for anybody who didn't realize। ਬੋਟ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਡੀ ਹੈ। what's bigger, our sins or Guru Nanak Dev Ji's blessings?
Guru Nanak Dev Ji।
Guru Nanak Dev Ji's blessings।
Very good। Guru Nanak Dev Ji ਦੇ ਨਦਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਾਪਾ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਆ। ਇਹ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਚੇਤੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਛੋਟੇ ਆ, there should never be a point in your life where you feel so low that you think that I will never be forgiven or there's no way out। ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਆ, ਹੋ ਪਾਪੀ ਤੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਣਹਾਰ। If I make mistakes, Guru Nanak will forgive me, but as long as you fall at the feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji। So ਆਪਣਾ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਐਂਡ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਜਾਣਾ ਭਾਈ ਵਿਜੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਕੋਲ। ਦਾਸ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਥੋੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਥੋੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਸੀ। ਚਲੋ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ। So any question before going? ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੁੱਛੀ, ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਖੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾ ਦੇਣਾ। ਇਹ ਬੁੱਕ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਚਮਤਕਾਰ ਬੁੱਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਗਗਨ ਸਿੰਘ, ਅਮਰਤ ਸਿੰਘ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਚ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸੀ। ਹਾਂਜੀ।
How is the boat smaller than the sea?
ਇਹ ਚਲੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੰਮੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਿਓ ਹੁਣ। ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਤ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਮੰਮੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਈ। Yeah, I think you might need to go to the seaside। ਹਾਂਜੀ। Any other question other than the boat size or the ocean size? ਚਲੋ ਜੀ, ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਇਹ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ। breakout rooms, I think you click on more, breakout room से click करके तो तुसी and you basically you're joining the other group, to my understanding. सही है भाई भगत सिंह, तुसी फिनिश वाहिगुरु भाई साहब जी। मैं तो सोचे मेरी छुट्टी हो गई, I can rest now. ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ question ਹੀ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ। ਭਾਈ ਗਗਨ ਸਿੰਘ, ਅਮਰ ਸਿੰਘ, I think they should be in the other group. ਅੱਛਾ, that's nice. ਭਾਈ ਰਾਜਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ, I like your graphics. ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ graphic ਕੀਤੇ। Oh, that's good. Yeah. Somebody showing off that they know how to use Zoom. है ना? You can tell काफी Zoom ਤੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਕਾਫੀ Zoom ਤੇ time.
I've used Zoom 1,000 times.
That's why. Anji, any questions? You can write in the chat box.
ਭਾਜਾ ਬਸ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਬਣਾਇਆ because ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ।
ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਟ ਆਊਟ ਹੈ?
ਆਪ
ਮੈਂ ਕਿ ਜ਼ੂਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ? ਓ ਵਾਓ,
ਆ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਦੇਖੋ।
Somebody's come prepared. Oh my gosh. I feel very unprepared. ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਤਾਂ ਕੱਪੜਾ ਹੀ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ hello. Sorry, I don't have anything else. Sorry. That's nice. ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਸੋਚੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਗ੍ਰਾਫਿਕ ਜੇ ਆ, you know, ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਣੇ you can send like stars and stuff to or whatever to one another. Not that I have much experience of that.
ਭਾਜਾ ਇਹ original ਆ।
ਅੱਛਾ। Gagan Amar Singh, I think you should be in the other group. Do you know how to join that?
But it's two of us, so then Gagan is 8 and I'm 6.
Okay.
But we've only got one phone.
Okay, ठीक.
Because Mommy's using the other one. We got another phone, but the other phone we don't know how to put it on because it just says meeting ID, and you have to put that in. And we don't know it. Okay, I'll do it now.
Well, that's good. At their age, they have to use Zoom as well. मेरे को आजकल क्लासरूम च छोटे बच्चे मतलब नर्सरी तो Zoom करते होने। Imagine little babies like pressing Zoom and doing Zoom meetings. It's probably the coronavirus world. So anybody have a question? Anybody will share the experience of Guru Nanak Dev Ji? ਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੱਡਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕਿਸ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਬਾਰੇ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਮੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ। ਦੱਸ ਇਸ ਵਨ ਬੈਡ ਥਿੰਗ। 4 ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦਿਸਦੀ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ। ਤਾਂ ਚਲੋ 10 ਮਿੰਟ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਪਤਾ 10 ਮਿੰਟ ਦੇ ਮੁੱਕਣੇ ਹੋਣ ਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਕੋ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਔਰ ਯੂਰ ਪਰਸਨਲ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ। ਉੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲ 2 ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਿਜ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟੋਰੀਜ਼। ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਿਜ਼ਨਰ ਆ come in for drug dealing. Well, that's the crime he obviously denies. And ਉਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ, he's given up eating meat. He now does Sahaj part. Anyone guess how much ਕਿੰਨੇ ਅੰਗੂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ every day? ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ। ਉਹਨੇ ਪ੍ਰਿਜ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਆ। 50 ਅੰਗs of Guru Granth Sahib Ji reads a day. And he doesn't watch TV. Aji monna hai, he's got cut hair. And he's like, Vaheguru. He changed after reading Jeru Chattiya Bhai Sahib Bhai Ranveer Singh's autobiography. And then he read Bhai Rama Singh. Then he read Guru Nanak Chamatkar. So he read the both part 1, part 2. Jine main tuhanu story sunai hai. And he's, I think his name is like 3 hours in the morning. Simran, Sukhmani Sahib, Asa Ki War, Panj Baniya. And when he was outside, he said he had a case when he was younger. He used to be forced to go to the Gurdwara by his mom, but he hated it. He didn't want to learn Punjabi. I hated doing part, hated going to the Gurdwara. I hated Punjabi. So as soon as he was 18, he cut his hair and he never went back to the Gurdwara again. He just basically went, and he's obviously in for drug dealing. And he goes, then now he's come in. I remember when he first came in, I said, oh, hello, Bhai Guru Ji Ka Khalsa Foundation. People get a bit shy. And then I said, would you like to come to our service? We have a class. We do a bit of art, Simran, we have a discussion. Yeah, he didn't come the first time, then he came the second time. And when we were reading Japji Sahib, something must have happened to him. He said, can I have a copy of this? When he, after reading In Search of the True Guru by Rama Singh's book, he asked me, can you tell me which are the Nityanem Baniyan? He had a pen paper, Japji Sahib, Jap Sahib, sare Bani likhiyan. Fir ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਬਸ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜਾਪ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਕੋ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਆ ਤੂੰ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ he noted it all down. What time is Amrit Vela? ਇੱਦਾਂ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਇਸ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੁੱਛੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸਰਬਲੋ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਸਰਬਲੋ ਵਿਵੇਕ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ I call him the Mona Sarbaloi. He is in New Mara ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ I want to start a business of making Sarblo Pande and class is finished. Sarblo Pande ਨੇ business ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ because I think all Sikhs should eat in Sarblo. So yeah, that was one inspiring story recently, which I enjoy every week. 2-3 ਘੰਟੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਾਲ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ. Really nice questions. ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਕੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ and I think, you know what, Guru Nanak is amazing. ਇੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਬਾਹਰ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਦੇ ਦਾ ਜੇ ਸਿੰਨੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ it's very amazing. ਇੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਈ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਸੋ ਆਪਣਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਚਲੋ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਨਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ that came out slightly wrong ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਚਲੋ ਜੀ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਕਲਾਸ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਬੋਲੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਥੋੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਨਾ ਬੋਲੋ ਤਾਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਦਾ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਵੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਡਾਊਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੋ ਉਹਦਾ I'm sure you do ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਸੈਟ ਵੈਲ ਵਿਸ਼ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਊ ਤਾਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਚਲੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ the attendees. Isn't it a bit funny why like 13 people should be leaving when I could just leave as one person? Stay worry, doing extra work is nice. ਚਲੋ ਸਾਰ ਦੇ ਉਂਗਲੀਆਂ ਮਸਲ ਬਣ ਜੂਗੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਉਂਗਲੀਆਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਆ ਤੂੰ ਗੁਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਕੋਲ ਤਾਂ ਆਈ ਗਈ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਿਰ ਟਕੜੇ ਗੁੱਡ ਜਤਿੰਦਰ ਕੌਰ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਡੇ ਚ ਮਨਜੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ ਰਜਿੰਦਰ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਅੱਛਾ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਅੱਛਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ
Prabhu, come to the side.
Oh, anyway, so I've closed the rooms. So we'll just give it a couple of seconds. If you need a drink, please feel free to grab one.
Bhenji, am I going to do it here or am I going to do it in a different room?
We're going to do in different rooms, Vijay.
Acha, theek hai ji.
Just waiting for people to just leave the room. Really.
That's fine.
So Vijay Singh, yours going to be in room 2 this time.
Theek hai ji.
And that age group I get 13 and over.
That's fine. Shall I how do I get to that room?
I'm gonna just send it. Just waiting for people to come out, so I'll send another link for people to find out.
Hi, sir. Video darshan. Oh my God. Satnam. Right. हाँ जी हाँ जी वहाँ बड़े पर कुछ सवाल सुन नहीं पूछा
गाने नहीं पूछा Maybe छोटे बच्चे के सवाल
Sunday is ना सुस्ती होती है Sunday afternoons is quite drowsy.
Okay, just about 30 seconds and we'll just start the session again. Pretty much, I think everybody's coming out. So, everyone who is between 7 to 12 years old, you will be in room 1 with Manvir Singh, and everybody else is going into room 2. So 13 and over with Vijay Singh. Yeah. I'm gonna let you choose. Should be able to do it now. So if you are up to 12 years old, go into room 1.
Okay, now I'm in. But it's not letting me share my screen. Yeah. It just says host disabled participant screen sharing. Babata me. Okay, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Hello, kids. Right, okay, while we're sorting this out, likelihood is that it's not going to get sorted out, but with the slight hope that I have of this getting this presentation available on the screen, I will just start off. So it's a very, very important day in the month tomorrow. Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Gurpurb. Now, firstly, I just wanted to start talking about the concepts of these important days. So Purab means day and Gur means Guru, obviously. So Gurpurb like effectively means like Guru's day. So these are important days in the Gursikhi calendar. Okay. Hopefully you can all hear me properly. Yes, everyone can hear me. Oh, good, good, good. Okay, so these are very important days in the Gursikhi calendar. And Barinder Kaur, you're having a little conversation there. Attention this way, please. Thank you. Okay, right. So these are very important days in the Sikhi calendar. And essentially, the date is not significant. The date, whether it's the 30th of November, whether it's the 2nd of January, it doesn't matter. The key thing here is it's an opportunity for us to learn of what makes that event significant. And that is that's the most important thing here. The voice is disconnecting in between, is it? Okay. Right, I'll try and get that sorted out if I can. It might be your internet connection because I don't know if other people are having the same issue. Okay, for me. Okay, that's good. So it's your internet. Who said that? Who said that? Okay, Jatinder Kaur. Okay, Jatinder Kaur, I think you need to go to a different internet provider. Or you can just update your internet connection to fiber. I'm on fiber now, so you're paying that little bit extra and you're getting... Yeah, sometimes on Netflix, sometimes doing other things on internet, unnecessary things. So yeah, so it's quite interesting actually. You see people having lots and lots of devices connected to your router, and that's what I can really slow it down. Anyway, so there's the internet lesson there. So check your connection. That's good. Thank you. Right. So as I was saying, the key thing is that it's about understanding about what makes that day important. Okay, so as I said, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, this day gives us a kind of an opportunity to understand who Guru Nanak Dev Ji was and what made Guru Nanak Dev Ji special. Now, there's many historians that have done research into the life of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Some are Sikhs, some are not Sikhs. So it's very important that we try to read up on Sikhi history and see what Guru Nanak Dev Ji, what their life was about. Okay, so one thing I wanted to just share at this point is, and I'll open this up to everyone. You can unmute yourself if you want to share. If you don't want to share, I'll just pick on you. So some people have described the relationship between Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Vaheguru. They've described that relationship as the wave in the ocean. Okay, so can anybody tell me, so Guru Nanak Dev Ji has been described as the wave in the ocean. Can anybody tell me why you think that might be? Gurjab seems really, really happy and excited. So Gurjab, you can share. Do you want to unmute yourself? Way too happy for Sikhi camp. We all need to be miserable, looking really miserable like Manpreet Kaur there. And the other people that haven't turned their cameras on. So Gurjab, tell us, how Guru Nanak Dev Ji is referred to as the wave in the ocean. What do you think that might mean?
It might mean like Guruji's like something like different.
Something different? Well, if it was like an octopus and a dog, then obviously they could say that's different. An octopus and a dog are very different. Barney Kaur, you look like you're having a good time. You want to share what the wave and the ocean? So there's a wave in the ocean. If I can show you the picture, I would show you, but I can't. So Barney Kaur, tell me.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Vaheguru
Vaheguru
Ji
Ji
Ka
Ki
Khalsa,
Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
The wave is a part of the ocean. So Guru
Excellent.
Ji is Vaheguru, na? And I think like the wave, if you see it, it's like a form of the ocean. It comes up, na? It's a form. So that's like how we see Vaheguru as like a form. We have Guru Shabad, and we have the Gurus. That's how I kind of see it.
Excellent. That's a very good way of looking at it. The other thing you can see is obviously the ocean. If it's just the ocean's just a flat ocean, like in there's normal water, so there's no waves, then it potentially can be less visible at a certain height. Whereas waves, they are kind of the visible manifestation of the ocean, and that's what Guru Nanak Dev Ji was. They were the visible manifestation of Vaheguru. Okay, so this is a really important concept, because people say, how was Guru Nanak Dev Ji Vaheguru, or were they two separate entities? And this is a wonderful way of looking at it. How the wave is still part of the ocean, but it's the visible part of the ocean potentially, or it becomes more visible and more pertinent the more you look at the ocean. And at the same time, Bhenji said, it has a kind of specific form. Whereas Vaheguru we say goes Nirguna Swarupa, Vaheguru doesn't have any form. Okay, excellent. Okay, so can we share the screen yet? No, we can't. Okay, let's move on. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to share any screen. Okay, so let me just show you this other analogy that people have been, that Bhai Veer Singh Ji has given for Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Does anyone know who Bhai Veer Singh Ji is? Barinder Kaur. Who's Bhai Veer Singh Ji? Anyone know? Then, and that's not what you call your brother, Veer Singh Ji. What's Barinder Kaur? No, it doesn't know. Who's Barinder Kaur? Hello. Kirat Kaur, do you know who Bhai Veer Singh is? No.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh ji.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Hanji Bhenji, dasso.
Hanji Bhai Veer Singh ji, writers ye na?
Hanji, he was a writer. Okay, good. He was a famous writer. Hor dasso. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
No. Jaswinder Sandhu. This is like The Price is Right. Come on down, Jaswinder Sandhu. Please unmute yourself. Tell us who is Bhai Veer Singh. And don't say that's my dad's name, because it's not.
Was he a poet?
Okay, he was a poet as well. That's very good. So he was a poet, he was a writer, and he was a Sikh historian, okay, around the early 1900s, a very, very important member of the Panth. And he wrote some very, very wonderful books. Some of them were fictional, some of them were actually based on history. So Bhai Veer Singh Ji, he described Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Now let me just, I want you to picture this, okay? Picture this very carefully. So you're going on a walk in the woods, okay? And it's just like the weather is today. It's foggy, and you see the trees, and the trees are bare, okay? So there's no leaves on the trees, there's no vegetation, anything on the trees, okay? So the branches are bare, and you look at the branches, and in the branches you see the little buds and the little seeds, isn't it? You've seen them, yeah? You've seen them? So if you haven't, then I would suggest you go on a walk, because you need to start walking. Go on the odd walk, or especially if you're at school, maybe walk around school where there's trees and have a look at the tree branches, and you'll be able to see little buds, like seeds on the trees. And what these seeds are waiting for, they're waiting for the right season to come along before they blossom, okay? Before they turn into flowers or into fruits. And in order for them to reach that stage, then they have to go through lots of different bad weather conditions. So obviously, you can imagine what kind of weather we're going to have in winter. So we have rain, we have snow, we have wind, we have storms, all that kind of changes in temperature. So all that bad weather, that the branch and the buds, the seeds, they must survive that in order to share their blossom, okay? Now, what Bhai Veer Singh Ji said is that's what Guru Nanak Dev Ji is. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, when he came to this earth, he was that determined to show his blossom and share his fragrance with the world. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was that determined that he was willing to go through all these different types of bad weather, all these different types of poor weather conditions and potentially dangerous conditions which could, I suppose, endanger him, and then in order to share his fragrance with the world, okay? Just like the flower does, and Bhai Singh said that is Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So that the bud is very determined to blossom and share its fragrance. In the same way, Guru Nanak Dev Ji was very, very determined to share his blossom, to share his fragrance, and to share his, I suppose, that inspiration and his vision with the world. Okay, so, no. Right, so moving on. I have got some really, really nice pictures that took me all day to produce, but then obviously that's not going to work, are they? So no point. Okay, so this bad weather that we're talking about, because this bad weather, this stormy weather, can anybody tell me what's the bad weather that we're talking about in terms of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's, as I was saying, Guru Nanak Dev Ji is that bud. What's the bad weather that Guru Nanak Dev Ji had to experience before it was able to, before they were able to blossom and share their fragrance? So let's see who we haven't shared anything with. Serena Kaur, sitting there very attentively. Hello. So tell me, what was this bad weather that the bud was exposed to?
Is it like the band's job?
Okay, not necessarily. I think that's what more we are exposed to.
Or would it be like the other people that he encountered? Like
Okay,
God,
can you give me an example?
God direction, other people.
Okay, so Guru Nanak Dev Ji was faced with these challenges. Obviously, he was faced with these people that potentially were looking to harm him, maybe looking to belittle him, or I suppose even in some case cause him serious harm, or maybe even risk his life. And that is one of the things that he had to contend with. Yes, good, thank you. Anyone else? Hanji, Bhenji, Baji, Hanji, Bhenji, Prabhjeet Kaur, Rajpal Singh, Hanji, from all the way from Holland, yes.
Vaheguru Khalsa,
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Hanji, Bas.
Discrimination.
Discrimination. Okay, excellent. Can you this, Thoraja, if you want to share what you mean by yourself?
Like there was no equality. कोई एक ऊंच नीच बहुत सी इंडिया with caste system. So like men and women, they were not equal.
So these kind of customs, Hanji, thank you for that. These kind of customs and traditions that had were very much ingrained in Indian culture. Guru Nanak Dev Ji had to contend with some of these things, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji had to challenge many of these traditions in order for them to share their fragrance. Okay, so like, can anyone give me a specific event that happened which demonstrated where Guru Nanak Dev Ji had to Anji, Rajinder Kaur there, someone looks a bit familiar. Bhenji, do you want to share your vichar, a specific event that happened?
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Hanji.
I was thinking about with the Janeo, even when they were saying that you have to, from a young age, to follow tradition and do things like that. And even with the Bibiyan, they had to just follow what everybody was doing, even with the Hardwar. They were pouring the water the wrong way. And people were not questioning how things should be, but they just followed a bit more robotically and not questioning why they are doing certain things.
Hanji, excellent. Thank you for that, Bhenji. So Bhenji's just hogged all the answers there. So there's quite a lot of good examples, Bhenji, get shared there in terms of where Guru Nanak Dev Ji challenged the norm. Guru Nanak Dev Ji challenged what was what other people were doing, what their expectations were in terms of one of the biggest challenges, obviously, as he was a child, was the Janu, which is a very important ceremony, especially for Brahmins and Khatris. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, technically, although he didn't recognize caste, he was in accordance with the Hindu structure. He was born in the Khatri sort of lineage, and they were expected to wear a specific Janu, a specific thread. Okay. So now I wanted to share one thing, but I'll just have to describe it to you. students, okay now. So there was at the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, this is very important to understand this. I don't know if Manvir Singh may have went through it. There were two key types of darkness. Okay, two key types of darkness. Okay. Okay, so that one was the darkness of the night. Okay, so the darkness of the night. Okay, and then the other one is the darkness of fog. Okay, so those two things. So there's darkness of the night. Now, if you have darkness of the night, you can put that out somehow. But fog, you know, so for example, darkness of the light, you put it out with darkness of the night, I should say. You put it out with a light, like a candle. Okay, but fog, you can try and shine a candle or a torch in the fog. Try, you know, so those of you that drive, Gurjab Singh, you look like you've got a Mercedes there. Looks like got a bit of a Mercedes face there. So sometimes people say that people look like their cars. You know, it's very strange. Or they look like their dogs. Have you got a good dog, Gurjab? Okay. I saw one very similar to you the other day, so I thought you might have one. Okay. Okay. Now, you honestly trust me, you know, owners look like their dogs. Anyway, so when you're driving your car, or your parents are driving their car, and then if it's really foggy, which it has been in England at the moment, then you shine your lights into the fog, and it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, okay? Because the fog is lifted by something else. Okay, fog is lifted by the heat of the sun. Okay, now at that time, that key time in India, there were two types of darkness. There was lack of knowledge. Okay, the first one, there was lack of knowledge and sort of lack of education, people following rituals and superstitions and things like that. Okay, and Bhenji just shared a few of those. Okay, people following rituals. So we had the Janu, we had the superstitions of the water, throwing the water towards Hardwar. And there was also things like, at the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, there was the fog. So there was the abuse of power, there was the oppression, there was a caste system. Jaswinder Sandhu and the family there, do you want to share with us, what do you think, when I say that there was oppression at the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, what do you think I mean there? What was that? What oppression was there?
Was it like gender inequality?
Okay, excellent. Good answer. Gender inequality. Okay, anything else?
How people were like, if they had certain things, they were seen higher than others and could do like without.
Okay, good. Okay, and then someone said caste system there. That's excellent. Very, very well done. So there was lots of oppression going on. There was a caste system. People not allowed to practice their religion. Okay, so when I said oppression, Barney Kaur, what do I mean? Where was their oppression? What was happening at the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the oppression?
Are you talking about Babar?
Okay, even before Babar. So who was Babar then? He's not someone that you go to get a haircut, not that Babar. Okay, shouldn't be going.
Wasn't he the ruler in that time?
Okay, he was the ruler. Okay, so where did he come from? Who was he then?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so Babar came from Afghanistan. He was a Muslim emperor, and he came and he conquered India. Okay, but before Babar, there was still oppression because the Pathans were ruling at that time, and they oppressed society then as well. So there was a lot of oppression happening, and if you read about the history, it's quite bad, the kind of things that people were restricted to doing, or the restrictions that were put in place. Okay, so in order to get rid of the darkness of people being blind and lack of education and following superstitions, you can do that through education. Okay, so you can educate these people. You can tell them that's what Guru Nanak Dev Ji did. So he's educating people that, look, this is not practical. Why are you throwing the water to the sun? It's never going to reach there. These kind of things. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji sort of exposed some of their sort of faithless rituals and their superstitions, so that dealt with that level of darkness. But in terms of the oppression, what did Guru Nanak Dev Ji do in terms of the oppression, in terms of the caste system, in terms of people not being able to practice their religion? Did he also educate there, or what did he have to do something else? Gurjab, what do you think? What did Guru Nanak Dev Ji do where there was the oppression happening, with the caste system happening? Did he just educate there, or did he do something else?
He like challenged people and explained to them what they like should do.
Excellent. Okay, I like the word that you said, they challenged. He challenged people. He spoke out. He said, why do you call women bad when from women kings are born? He challenged the caste system. And Gurbani is a clear example of Guru Nanak Dev Ji challenging the practice of these Hindus and the Muslims. Okay, so this is very, very important. The more you understand about Gurbani, the more you understand about the revolutionary person that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was. So, in order to get rid of one darkness, in the fact that there was Hanera, there was a lack of education, there was people following superstitions. The way Guru Nanak Dev Ji got through that is through educating, and the way Guru Nanak Dev Ji tried to challenge the oppression and the caste system and people not having religious rights is he spoke out. Okay, he spoke out and he's willing to challenge and he's willing to question. Okay, he called Babar a criminal. Okay, and does anyone know what Barinder called? Does anyone know what happened when he called Babar a Jabbar, a criminal? Barinder scores kids. Mom, what was it? Mom, tell me, what is he saying? What's the answer? Actually, no, they're from Leeds, aren't they? Oh, I'm not very good at Leeds accent. What happened, kids? You got your pencil there. Stop asking for the answer.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਬਰ ਕਹਿਤਾ ਸੀ ਬਾਬਰ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੇਲ੍ਹ ਚ ਪਾਤਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਬਾਬਰ ਨੇ
Excellent. Thank you, Bhenji. Thank you, Bhenji. I don't know, Bhenji's just answering everything. All day ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਠਾਇਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੱਚੇ are probably watching Netflix and Bhenji's answering all the questions herself. Okay, chalo. Okay, so thank you for that. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji was willing to face jail. He was willing to be put in jails. He was willing to be persecuted. But
ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਨਸਰ ਦੇ ਦੇਣਾ ਸ਼ਾਈ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਬਾਬੇ ਵੀ
I know. They look like very shy kids. Oh, don't worry, I'll make you unshy when I see you too. Right, okay. So yeah, Guru Nanak Dev Ji then, he was willing to face jail. He was willing to challenge that time, and he didn't care about the consequences. There were even threats on Guru Nanak Dev Ji's life, but Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't care. Okay, so now, as I said, that there were in those days there were two types of darkness. Yeah, there was the darkness of the blind faith, lack of education, people following superstitions and rituals and stuff. What would you say, if I can ask you guys, what do you think is the darkness that we have today that in that respect? So what is the blind faith that we have today, the lack of education, the following rituals and superstitions? What do you think that would be today in Nimrat Kaur?
Social media, that could be one.
Okay, why do you think that's a...
also like things like rituals. I think Matha Tek, when people do Matha Tek with they just don't know why they're doing it. Coming to the Gurdwara could be a ritual for some people.
Okay,
all these good things that we think we're doing, if we don't know the meaning behind them, they become rituals.
I think that's a very good point that you made there, in the fact that how in those days people thought that they were doing good things by giving money to the pundits or feeding the pundits or giving I suppose throwing water to their relatives. I mean, I've seen my family do that. I've seen my family members throwing water towards the sun in the past, and they probably think it's a good thing. They probably think that there's actually something that they're going to benefit. Similarly, a family that pays Gurdwara to do a Khand Path or Saj Path, and then they only come for the end of it, they also probably think that they're doing something good. But I'm glad you said that, Nimrat, because that could be considered as a ritual. Okay, very good. Serena Kaur, anything else that you think in terms of the darkness that we have today, like blind faith or lack of education, superstitions, rituals, anything you think we have?
Well, today there's still lots of discrimination in
okay.
in workplaces and schools and everything.
Okay, excellent. I think that probably come in the second bit in terms of the other missed that sort of the oppression bit, the caste system, or the that kind of system of hierarchy in society. But anyone else in terms of the lack of education and the blind faith, those kind of things? Bhenji, Prabjit Bhenji, maybe lack of education, or what about blind faith? There's obviously picked up problems with blind faith around Punjab as well. Anything you can maybe say that's relevant today?
ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨੀ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ
ਕੋਈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਸੁਣਾ ਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਪਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੋ ਪਰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਸਮਝੋ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸੋ ਕਈ ਫਿਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਸ 5 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ 10 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸਕੂਨ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਪਰ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਮਝੀਏ ਵੀ ਵਿਆਖਿਆ ਵੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੀਏ ਉਹਦੀ ਖੋਜ ਵੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ Guru ji di kirpa na thoda badla aa sakda hai sade
Hanji. Thank you for that, Bhenji. That's a very good point. So another thing in terms of another darkness that we're in is that we think that if we just read Bani over and over and over and over and over again and we don't understand it, we don't try to connect with it, that is in also another kind of darkness that we're in. We seem to feel that that's going to be kind of our savior, you know. So Guru Sahib says that you just so you can see that you can see the Bani, you can read the Bani until you do the vichar of the Bani. That's not gonna you're not gonna get the full fruit of that. Okay, okay, and let's move on to the next bit. So the mist of that time, the fog which had to be challenged of that time, which was the abuse of power, oppression, caste system. So Serena Kaur, a very good answer that you gave before. We still have that kind of discrimination in places like the workplace. And you say the workplace, but at the same time, we still have that discrimination in our Gurdwara as well. Okay, where in some Gurdwara, females are not privy to doing certain having certain responsibilities, so that's something else. Kirat Kaur, anything you can mention about sort of any abuse of power or oppression or caste sort of challenges that we face today? Those kind of challenges that were at the time of Guru Sahib's, you know, are any of them still prevalent today? You say. Just look into the right hand side for an answer.
The Indian government.
Indian government? Oh, blimey, you're blaming Indian government for everything. Can't get a job, blame Indian government. Failed my exam, blame Indian government. We can't blame Indian government for the rest of our lives. Come on, anything else? I know what happens. No. So you look into your right and there's someone on the right and they say, just say Indian government.
It's me.
Who is it?
Me, Nimrat.
Oh, Nimrat. Oh, Nimrat. Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you're just confusing me, aren't you? You're just confusing me. Same room, sitting together, two different devices. Nimrat, come on, tell us then. What do you think?
I don't know. Powers of authority, that could be challenges.
Okay. So powers of authority where?
Everywhere, I think. With the corruption that goes on, especially in India, I think that's quite visible, but here as well.
Okay. Okay. So the powers of the powers being having corruption, whether that's I think we have to. The other thing is rather than just sort of think about India, we're thinking about our Gurdwara as well. Level of corruption that happens in our Gurdwara, the level of as I said, you know, there's fundamental issues in our Gurdwara, and at the same time we have to challenge these, as Guru Nanak Dev Ji did. Okay, Gurjab, anything else you want to add to that one? The mist of today?
Not really.
Okay, thank you for that. Right, so in terms of, so back in the day, the mist was like people abusing their power. We still see that now. We still see within Sikhi, people are abusing their power, whether it's Gurdwara, people working in the Gurdwara, or I suppose it could even be sort of some kind of babbe and pracharaks or those kind of thing, people like kind of doing that.
Haji, can I just say one thing? Sorry.
Hanji, boss.
Yeah, I was just going to say one more thing with the mist of today as well.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of wealth inequality in the world.
Hanji.
You know, basically there's a lot of structures and systems in place to keep poor people poor, keep rich people rich. And you know, I think one thing with events in India today, you know, what's happening at the moment, you clearly see a power grab, you know, taking from the poor to give to the rich as well, and there's a direct, you know, sort of relation to that as well. But just the way the wealth around the whole world, you know, many countries with a poverty as well. I think that's such a big problem.
Hanji, thank you for that, Gurpreet Kaur. Now, just wanted to mention one thing. Sorry. Just wanted to I couldn't pass up that opportunity. So I just wanted to just clarify what Baji's just talking about there. So many of you probably don't know the social structure that they have in India and how it's entwined with politics and how it's entwined with religion. So you have at the top, you have the government, the Indian government, the BJP, the party that's there, okay? And underneath that structure, this is very, very important that you understand this, because I heard this and it really kind of astonished me about the level of corruption that goes on in India. So you have the government here, okay? And then it's broken down into MLA. They're these kind of little regional areas, so the localized areas, okay? So you have your government that's broken down into like local government, and local government underneath there, then that's where you have this kind of Baba structure, where you have Babbe spread out across the bends that are basically in control of what people are doing and things like that. So these Babbe, these people, the normal folk, they will go to these Babbe, okay? They will do whatever these Babbe say. They will matha take these Babbe, and they will kind of, as I said, they will kind of follow these Babbe and give them money, etc. Now these Babbe, they are given privilege, they are paid off by the heads of government, okay? So the government have control over these Babbe. These Babbe have control over the people, and that's a whole corrupt system that exists because the government wants votes. They will get these localized governments and localized Babbe to encourage the normal people, everyday people of Punjab, to vote for this specific person, and these Babbe will get their mele happening. These Babbe will get certain privileges, they'll get cars, they'll get money, they'll get whatever they want. They can do whatever they want, these Babbe, because they can get votes for these. And this is how the whole corrupt system is happening, a bit like how Baji was just saying. And that is the kind of oppression of today, and that is almost like the abuse of power of today as well, that is still exists, okay? But at the same time, within UK as well, we still have many of these things happening also, okay? So people not allowed to practice their religion. That was the case then, and now I suppose in the UK we have a lot more privileges, and in the Western world we have a lot more sort of laws to protect us. But at the same time, you know, people in India, there's still those discrimination going on. Okay, so obviously, Hanji Rajpal Singh.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ, ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਜੰਮਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਲੱਡੂ ਵਰਤਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ। ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ, ਯੂਰਪੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ, ਬਟ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਕੁੜੀ ਜੰਮਦੀ ਆ, ਨੋ ਲੱਡੂਸ ਨਥਿੰਗ, ਹਨਾ? ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਲੈਵਲ ਦਾ ਡਿਸਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਆ। ਤੇ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਲੱਡੂ ਵੰਡ ਦੋ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਜੇ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ, keep quiet.
Anji, Baji is saying that's happening here as well, and that's the strangest thing. It still happens in the UK. I mean, many of you guys probably experienced that yourself. You know, people that are still doing those kind of practices, looking down upon females, and the birth of females. They prefer to have boys. Okay, so that's a level of discrimination in itself. Okay, so lastly, just to finish, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਭੈਣਜੀ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰੋ।
ਸੌਰੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁੜੀਆ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਉਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨਾ, ਜਾਂ ਲੱਡੂ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੰਡਦੇ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਗੁੜੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ। ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੱਚੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਮਾਂ ਪਿਓ ਬਣਨਾ ਆ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਟਕਾ, ਜੂੜਾ, ਦਸਤਾਰ ਸਜਾਉਂਦੀ ਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਮਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਤੇ ਜੂੜਾ ਸਜਾਵੇ। ਲਾਈਕ ਸਾਡੀ ਦੀ ਏਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਬਣ ਜਾਵੇ ਕਿ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ ਨੀ ਗਾ, ਹਨਾ? ਤੇ ਉਹ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਫਿਰ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਪਹਿਰਾਵੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਫਿਰ yeah, I think कुछ हो सकता है ना? So हाँ जी.
Thank you for that, Bhenji. That's a very, very important point. And I also want to mention, sort of go on from Benji's point, that you guys are the future. You guys are going to grow. Before you know it, you're going to have, you're going to have finished your education. Then you're going to get into jobs. Then you're going to get married, and you're going to have your own kids. Before you know it, honestly, I know it's a daunting prospect. Trust me, it is. But you have to be ready for that. And at the same time, as Bhenji said, you're going to have to face those challenges. At the same time, you have another, let's say, responsibility on your shoulders. Okay, you have another responsibility, and that is that you are responsible for carrying on the legacy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Okay, Guru Nanak Dev Ji has chosen each of you to be the custodians of his legacy. Okay, so Guru has chosen you as his Sikh. Guru Nanak Dev Ji said that you're going to be my Sikh. I'm gonna train you up. I'm gonna send you to Sikhi camps. I'm gonna educate you. I'm gonna send you to the Gurdwara. I'm gonna give you that thirst for Sikhi inside you. But the responsibility that you have is that you are the custodians now of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and you have to spread Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message to the world. Okay, and this is a massive, massive responsibility which is on all of our shoulders. Okay, wherever you go, you have to recognize that you are the carriers of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's legacy, and the people have to see that through your actions, and people have to see that through who you are. Okay, so it's very, very important. And one of the ways you can do this is I did have a picture of there's 2 candles. Okay, there's one candle that's lit and it's lighting another candle. Okay. Now you are that lit candle, and then you are lighting other candles, and this is important because this is what you need to light your own candle through that education, through that Bani, that Simran, that devotion to Guru Sahib, that understanding Gurbani, as the Vijay's Bhenji were talking about earlier, understanding Gurbani. So you light the light inside of your candle, and then you use that candle to light other candles. Okay, and that like they say, a candle doesn't lose anything by lighting another candle, and this is what you need to work on, that understanding that it's your responsibility to light yourselves and light that candle inside you. I remember when I go to universities, I say to university students, because when they go to university, young people become a lot more freer, and they become a lot more because they haven't got their parents there looking out for them. They haven't got the parents, I suppose, placing restrictions on them. They can do a lot more, and there's a lot more a temptation at university. So what I say to them is that inside you have this light, yeah, and that's the light of the Guru. You have that inside you, okay? And in order for you to keep that shining, you need to educate yourself. You need to do Bani, you need to do Simran, you need to follow try and follow Guru Sahib's path as much as you want. Because when you stop doing that, that's when that light goes out, and then you have nothing to share, okay? And that's, I mean, you need to keep that light shining, and then from there, it's your responsibility, as I say, as custodians of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message and Guru Nanak Dev Ji's legacy. It's your responsibility to share that with the rest of the world, not just the other Sikhs, but the rest of the world. Okay? Can anyone tell me, how do you think you can do that? Serena Kaur, we're just going to have the last few suggestions, last couple of minutes left. Serena Kaur, how do you think you can share that legacy with because remember, we're celebrating 551 years of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And yeah, last year we celebrated 550 years. What's changed? You know, what progress have we made? How much more have we taken on this responsibility? Okay, so Stina, tell me what you think.
Well, we can follow them ourselves, and also kind of do Kirtan together and do Bhat.
Okay, that's fine. So that's kind of how we're lighting our own light, I suppose. Okay, good job. How do you think we can maybe try and light other people's lights after our one is lit and ours lit?
We can help them understand more about Gurbani and the Guru Granth Sahib, and you can encourage them to do more Bhat.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for that. Okay, the Jaswinder Sandhu Jatha, you want to share us what you think? How do you think you can share Guru Nanak Dev Ji's legacy with the world? You're on mute, by the way.
If you like follow in his footsteps, like how he like challenged people, like you can question them about their religion, and like
Oh, you're muted there.
you can see what their beliefs are, and
Okay.
they can like ask you about.
Just have to be a bit careful about challenging people about their religion. What I would suggest is you become that change that you want to see in the world. You become that change. So people look at you and say, how come he's different, or how come she's different? And then they will never ever need to even look at their own faith, because they will become so I suppose intoxicated by your faith. Okay, they'll the way you live your lives. Okay, Barney Kaur, just last one. How do you think we can share or carry on the legacy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji?
I think by doing this, Sangat, Zoom Sangat, teach your kids, your family, everyone around you, and camps. I think is really good. Set up like little short videos for kids so they could understand like animation. If you watch TV, there's so much TV, so much for the kids, but there's like hardly anything for like Sikhi animation, and that's like a thing we can invest ourselves into. Books, so many other things we can do.
Okay, thank you for that. So just one last, Hanji Bhenji, Hanji Prabhjit Kaur Bhenji, Hanji.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਲੰਚ ਬਾਕਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰੋ, ਵੰਡ ਕੇ ਛਕਣਾ ਹੈਨਾ, ਮਿੱਠੀ ਬੋਲਣਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਮਿੱਠਾ ਬੋਲੋ, ਚੰਗਾ ਬੋਲੋ, ਹੈਨਾ। ਤੇ ਮੇਬੀ ਦਿਸ ਏਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜਾ ਡਿਫਿਕਲਟ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਅਗਲੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਉਹ ਬੱਚਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰੂਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੋਈ ਕਲਾਸ ਫੈਲੋ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਸੋ ਬਾਈ ਯੋਰ ਐਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਨਾ, ਜੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾ ਰਹੇ, ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਾਮਾ ਪਾਪਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਕਰੋ।
No, thank you for that, Bhenji. So we become like that. What Guru Nanak Dev Ji is talking about, Gurbani, we become that in our characters, and we become that. You see, my role, just to end with, my role here is not just to come and do this talk to you and talk about Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Our role, and anyone who was leading a class, their role would be this: that we share information with you. You know, we collectively share the information, but at the end of it, we leave you with something for you to think about, and leave you with something that should really well, a responsibility. We give you a responsibility for you to take on, and for you to move forward in your Sikhi. Okay, so that's what I mean. That's the purpose of this. This is not just a nice little class about you learning about Guru Nanak Dev Ji and who they were and everything. You know, that's not something that you can fit into a 45-minute class or an hour class or a lifetime class. Okay, what we need to try to do is, as I said, is we need to try to become as close to Guru Nanak Dev Ji as possible. We can try to become like them. And then from there, we can try to share that with the world. And that's the responsibility I give to all of us, including myself, that you become like the Guru, and then you share Sikhi like the Guru did, through their actions and not just words. Word is everyone shares things by the word, through words, but how many people inspire others through what they do in terms of the actions? Okay, thank you very much for that. Any last questions before we finish? I knew we wouldn't be able to get the presentation going. Any last questions? Everyone happy? Everyone had a good time? Excellent. Oh, that's great. I don't know how you do that. Oh, I haven't used Zoom a very long time. So yeah. Okay, there's some stars. Oh, sorry. I thought that was, I didn't even realize. I thought that was some, I thought that was a fancy trick there, Bhai. So, oh, Desi Kam. That's proper Desi Kam. There's a Bhai got too much time on his hand. Needs to go out and do some prachar. I think obviously in Holland. Right, Chalo ji, I think the breakout room's going to close now, but thank you very much for everyone's attention. Hopefully you can take something away now, and then we can make our own lives stronger and Sikhi stronger, and then share that with the world. Okay, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Okay, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thanks to Bhai Vijay Singh, Sukhbinder Kaur, and Manvir Singh. Apologies to Vijay Singh and Sukhbinder Kaur who couldn't get their sort of presentations working. So, quick announcement from Khalsa Foundation. They've got a family retreat happening in December, which is going to be an exciting type of a camp that usually happens in person, obviously, but because of lockdown, they're going to be doing it online. So they've got loads of speakers from across the world and a few exciting things like that happening. They've got, I think, they usually have magic shows, animal shows, and that type of thing. I'm not sure what they've got planned online, but he wants everybody to just be aware of that. If somebody can screen share the poster, that'd be really handy. Just give me a second. I might be able to get it going. But yeah, it's Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Gurpurb tomorrow. So if you're able to visit the Gurdwara in the evening or listen to some talks, that's what today was all about, is to get us thinking about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, interacting, focusing on, like Vijay Singh just said in his breakout, that it's about us applying Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message in our lives and therefore inspiring all those around us as well. So just think about yourself tomorrow, how Guru Nanak Dev Ji came for you, essentially, came for me. How can we make a difference, not only to those around us, but mainly to ourselves? Yeah. So think about that. If any of you've got a day off tomorrow from school, that's great. I think legally you're allowed to have a day off from school because it's a religious festival tomorrow. So you can get your parents to phone up and ask if they can give permission. Usually you need to give them notice first, but you can try. So in Bradford, at least, on Monday evening, the Gurdwara is going to be open between 5 and 7 if anybody wants to visit. And then on the 6th, which is next Sunday, we're going to have some kirtan. Gurdwaras are going to be open again for Diwan. So we're going to have an English talk and we're going to have some kirtan as well. So, and it's all going to be about Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Gurpurb. So everybody's quite welcome to come down. If by Manvir Singh or by Vijay Singh, I've got any last minutes to say to everybody as they're together in this breakout room, let us know. On the screen right now, that's the poster.
That's the poster, yeah.
For the family retreat. So if everybody makes note of that, I think there might be a website on there to register. Oh, but if you just keep following the Khalsa Foundation Instagram or their Facebook, you'll find out how to register. So it's going to be quite exciting. They get a lot of people from across the world. So don't miss out on that. Save your dates. They have a good schedule each day. So you can have holidays at that time anyway. It should be quite fun. So by Vijay Singh, Manvir Singh, if you've got any last minutes before we say Fateh.
I'll let Bhai Sahib share something.
By Manvir Singh, you still there? Maybe he's gone for his pizza now, no? I think he's gone. I'll leave it to you, by Vijay Singh.
Manvir Singh's still there. He's just there in spirit.
Probably away.
Stop being shy.
Oh, he's back.
I was trying to hide myself. Vaheguru,
Bhai Sahib just eating some Servlo pizza there.
I was trying to hide myself.
You've got some crumbs in your daddy. Just take the crumbs out of your daddy.
Haji, so more Maharaj bless everybody that the Gurpurb that we celebrate that may become worthwhile when we bring Guru Nanak into our life. So Guru Nanak is not something just to talk about. Guru Nanak is not just something to read about. Guru Nanak is not just someone to sing about. Guru Nanak is to bring into our life, to make Guru Nanak into our friend, to make Guru Nanak into our companion, to make Guru Nanak into our father, and to make Guru Nanak as our soulmate. And Guru Nanak's there, NANAK ME, the one who never gives up. And Guru Nanak, always remember that. If we are the boat, Guru Nanak is the ocean. Guru Nanak's love, Guru Nanak's kindness is amazing. So use these opportunities to connect with the Guru and to make all of our lives so we can make it beautiful. So thank you very much to Bhenji, Kaur, Bhai Pakistan and all the Bradford Sangat. who are doing these initiatives to, we can all connect with Guru in some sense and remember the Guru for this Gurpurb. So बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you to everybody. So बोल चुका माफ करनी है. वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Have a good evening and a good Gurpurb tomorrow. And sorry about the presentation earlier, the first one. It took us a bit of a while to we just couldn't share Bhenji's screen, so I really apologize for that, especially to younger kids. But yeah, so happy Gurpurab, everybody. Have a good day tomorrow. Make sure you do something to remember Guru Sahib. So we'll say final fateh now. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Jai Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Anup, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Where's Manraj?
Manraj जी से फतेह.
Harsimran किथे चले गया? You're on mute. Hey, Nupi. Oh, Tejbir is here. Teju. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Tejbir Singh.
Vaheguru Ji Khalsa,
Khalsa, Fateh Ji, boys. Nice to see you.
You know, do we have any plans to go to your master's house?
Hey? Bas baki kitne hai? Mahavir, press unmute.
Microphone button.
Yeah. Horn sunda hai? Yeah. Kidda siga session? Did you enjoy it?